Hi guys, welcome to this tutorial. In this session, we're going to solve question 11 to question 20 from GCSE May 2017 Foundation Math Paper 1. So I have already completed question 1 to 10 on a separate video. You will find it on my playlist under GCSE past papers. So let's start this session. Right, for question 11, we are told a sequence of patterns is made from circle tiles and square tiles. Here are the first 3 patterns in a sequence. So pattern number 1, pattern number 2, pattern number 3. How many, for part A, we're asked to say how many square tiles are needed to make pattern number 6. So we're dealing with just square tiles. So let's see what this pattern looks like then. So for pattern 1, we have 1 square tile. For pattern number 2, we have 4 square tiles. And for pattern number 3, we have 9 square tiles. So what's going on here? Well, we can see what sort of numbers are they? They are square numbers. So that means the rule for this is n squared. For the first pattern, when n is equal to 1, 1 squared is 1. When n equals to 2, 2 squared, and you get a 4. When n is equal to 3, 3 squared is 9. So to get the 6th number, then we can just carry on with square numbers, but the next square number is 16, and then we have the next one is 25, and is 36 is the 6th one. So the answer to this one is 36. Right, and now for B, we're asked to say how many circular tiles are needed to make pattern number 20. So we're now dealing with circular tiles. Right, let's look at how many circles are there on pattern number 1. Well, there is 4, and the next one there is 8, and the one after that there is 12. So it carries on like that. Now I need to get pattern number 20. I can go ahead until I get pattern number 20, or I could try and find the nth term. So that's a formula to get the numbers of this sequence. So what do we do? Well, we can find what is going on here. Every time these numbers are going up by adding 4. So adding 4 here, adding 4 there. So the nth term for this one, the rule to get the number is going to be equal to 4n. So to get the 20th term then, so the 20th term is going to be equal to 4 times 20, which is 80. So the 20th term is going to be equal to 80. And now we're told, Derek says when the pattern number is odd, an odd number of square tiles is needed to make the pattern. Is Derek right? You must give reasons for your answer. So when the pattern is odd, let's have a look. So for the first one, we've got 5. This whole pattern now we're talking about, not just squares and circles. The next one, so we got 8 plus 4 is 12. And the next one, pattern number 3, we've got 12 plus 9, which is 21. So we can see we have odd there and we have odd there. And every time we have odd on the square, so we got 1 here, 1 on the square, and then we got 9 here, we get an odd pattern for the whole pattern. Okay, odd number, which is the reason for that is that the circle ones is always going to be even. So you can say circles pattern is always even, but the square pattern is n squared. So when n is odd, then odd times odd is equal to odd. So you will always get an odd number when you have an odd number pattern when n squared is odd. And now for question 12, we're told there are only 7 blue pens, 4 greens, and 6 red pens in a box. one pen is taken at random from the box, write down the probability that this pen is blue. So before you do anything, you need to add all the total number of pens. So total number of pens is going to be equal to 7 plus 4 plus 6, which is equal to 17. So we're asked to find what is the probability of getting a blue pen. So probability of getting a blue pen is going to be equal the chances of getting blue pen, which is only 7, divide by the total number of pens, which is 17. And we can't simplify this, so we're just going to leave the answer as it is. Now for question 13, we're asked to we're told the diagram shows a tree and a man. The man right here. The man is of average height. The tree and the man are drawn to the same scale. Write down an estimate for the real height in meters of the man. So it's an estimate. Find an estimate for the real height in meters of the tree. So this first we have to find an estimate for this man. Now, if you have the paper with you, you would need to measure this with a ruler. So you need to find the height of this man. So if you measure it, you will see it's about 1.5 meters. And because we're estimating, we're going to say this man is 2 meters. Right, and now for B, we're asked to estimate the real height of this tree. So that's all the way from there and all the way down. Now, when you have the paper with you and take the measurement, you will see that you will get 6 of these distances from there to there. So there is 6 times of the man's height. So the estimate for the real height in meters of the tree then is going to be equal to 6 times 2, which is going to be equal to 12 meters. And now for question 14 is a pie chart which we need to draw. You're told Year 9 students from Highlife School were asked to choose one language to study. The table shows information about their choices. So you've got language, French, Spanish, and German, and number of students who have taken each one of these subjects. So for part A, you're asked to draw an accurate pie chart to show this information. So to draw an accurate pie chart, you need to calculate angles for each one of these subjects. So you need to calculate angles. Now, what do we need to do? First of all, before anything, we need to add all the number of students because there are the numbers that are going to be represented in this whole pie chart. All right, so let's add them up. So 6 plus 0 plus 4 is 10. So 0 carry over 1 and 1, 6, 10, and that's going to be 120. So over here then we need to find the angles. 56 students. How much angle would be needed to be drawn on the pie chart? Well, what you have to say is that 120 students are going to be represented in a 360 degrees. So then one student is going to be equal to 360 degrees over 120 because there's 120 students. So that's going to be equal to 3 degrees. So each one student will occupy 3 degrees. So now for 56 students, all we have to do is multiply all these numbers by 3. So if you do 56 times 3, you will get 168 degrees. If you do 40 times 3, you will get 120 degrees. 24 times 3 is 72 degrees. If you add all this up, you should get 360 degrees in total. Now you've done your angles, you can go ahead and draw that accurately on a pie chart. So now I'm going to draw my pie chart. You must have a guideline. So if on your exam or paper has you don't have this line, you need to draw at least one line to start drawing. Okay, now I've got the line. I can take my protractor and line this up, this middle part with this middle part here. So I need to go and put my protractor there, and I need to measure the angle of 168 to start with. So 168 is over here. Let's go down all the way to 168, which is roughly there. So I'm now going to mark it. So it's somewhere there. And then I will move my protractor to draw the line. So let me just grab a line. So that line start there and is going to be roughly there. Right, so you need to make sure you use the ruler in your exam to make sure they're all lined up nicely. And now I've got that angle. Actually, I should label it. So that's going to be French. So my next subject is Spanish, which takes 120 degrees. So I'm going to rearrange this slightly. So I need my protractor to line up here. So it is aligned. Once I'm happy with it, I can now measure the angle from this point this time. So my 0 is over here and I need 120 degrees. So 120 degrees is right there. I would mark it, and then once I'm done, I will remove my protractor. Now, in fact, I don't need it anymore. So let's just get rid of that. And I can grab the line from center and roughly there. So this subject here, okay, is now going to be Spanish. Now, if you have drawn this properly, and the last bit should be the right angle for German. Right, so make sure you draw this nicely with a sharpened pencil, protractor and a ruler, because you will only get like 1 or 2 degrees leeway. Okay, let's go to the next part of this question. And now you're told Year 9 students from Lowry School were also asked to choose one language to study. This accurate pie chart shows information about their choices. So you got German, Spanish, and French. Now Shamina says the pie chart shows that French was chosen by more Year 9 students at Lowry School than at the Harley School. Is Shamina right? You must explain your answer. Well, I mean, we can see from pie chart, the proportion for French is quite high. So the proportion for French is higher, but we don't know how many students are represented on the pie chart. I mean, the whole pie chart could be representing only 10 students. So we don't know how many students are represented here, and therefore we can't conclude that that is the case. There could just be 10 students on this pie chart, whereas the other pie chart, there were 120 students, and we can see we had 56 taking French. Now, if this pie chart is only representing maybe 12 students, then this argument is definitely wrong. So Shamina is wrong. Now for question 15, we're told here are a triangle and rectangle. The area of the rectangle is 6 times the area of the triangle. So the area here is 6 times the area of the triangle. Work out the width of the rectangle. So we need to know what the width is. Right, so let's calculate the area of the triangle. That's probably 1 mark. So A of triangle is going to be equal to base times height over 2. So that is going to be equal to base is 8, height is 9 over 2. That's going to be equal to 36 centimeters square. Now you're told area of rectangle is 6 times the area of the triangle, and we know now area of the triangle is 36, so that's going to be equal to 6 times 36, which is going to be equal to 216 centimeters square. So to get the width, then we know area of rectangle is going to be equal to length times width. Length is given as 16, so we know area is 216 from here, equals to 16 times W. So W is equal to 216 over 16. This will give you, if you work it out, 13.5 centimeters. And now for question 16 is a substitution question. We're told V is equal to U plus A times T. And you're told U is equal to 1, A is equal to -3, T is equal to half. Work out the value of V. So we know V is equal to U. U is 1 plus A times T. So our A is -3 and our T is half. So this is going to be equal to 1 plus -3 times half. That will give you it will give you -3 over 2. Let's just do it slowly. So that gives you 1 plus what is -3 over 2 is -1.5. So V is equal to 1 plus negative, that's going to be 1 plus negative, that's negative, minus 1.5, which is going to be equal to minus or negative 0.5. So for question 17, then we're told 5 tins of soup have a total weight of 1,750 grams. 4 tins of soup and 3 packets of soup have a total weight of 1,480 grams. And we're asked to work out the total weight of 3 tins of soup and 2 packets of soup. So which means we need to find out what's the weight of each tin and what's the weight of each packet. Now from this first sentence then, we're told 5 tins, they weigh 1,750 grams. So from here we can say 1 tin is going to weigh 1,750 over 5, which is going to be equal to 350 grams. And then for the second statement, we're told 4 tins plus 3 packets. That's going to give us 1,490 grams. So we now know 1 tin is 350. So 4 tins is going to be 4 times 350 plus the 3 packets. And that's going to be equal to 1,490. So this is going to be equal to 1,400 plus the 3 packets. That's going to be equal to 1,490. So therefore the 3 packets, I'll just put P for packets, is going to be equal to 1,490 take away 1,400, which is equal to 90 grams. So 3 packets is 90 grams. That means 1 packet is going to be 90 divided by 3, which is going to be 30 grams. So we now know 1 packet weighs 30 grams, 1 tin weighs 350 grams. We can go ahead and find the 3 tins and 2 packets. So 3 tins is going to be equal to 3 times 350 grams plus the 2 packets is going to be equal to 2 times 30 grams. So these two will give you 3 times 350 is 1050 plus 2 times 30 is 60, which is going to give you 1,110 grams. So that is your answer for question 17. Right, for question 18, we are told Belina has a garden in the shape of a circle of radius 10 meters. He's going to cover the garden with grass seed to make a lawn. Grass seed is sold in boxes. Each box of grass seed will cover 46 meters squares of garden. Belina wants to cover all the garden with grass seed. For A, we're told to work out an estimate for the number of boxes of grass seed Belina needs. You must show you're working out. Now, what you need to do is make sure that you round it, because we're told to estimate. So you must round your numbers. We've got 46 meters square. And the way we do it is we round to one significant figure. So this 46 meters square is going to be now equal. We've got to write 46 meters is going to be rounding to 50. Okay, so that is one of the things you need to do. The next thing you need to do is find the area, the total area of the garden itself. So let's say area of the garden is equal to, well, it's going to be pi r squared because it's in the shape of a circle. Now we know pi is a decimal number, 3.14 something, and goes on. But because we are estimating, we're going to have to take pi as equal to 3. Remember, the exam will not tell you this. You need to figure out yourself, especially if the question says estimate. So we're going to have to use pi equals 3. Okay, so the area of the garden is going to be equal to 3 times a radius squared. So 10 squared is 100. 100 times 3 is 300. So this is going to be equal to 300 meters squared. So now to find the number of boxes, so the number of boxes needed is going to be equal to the total area, which is 300, divided by how much area each box will cover. Okay, so each box of seeds will cover 50. So that means you need to do 300 divided by 50, which is 6 boxes. And now for part B, is your estimate for part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Give a reason for your answer. So what did we do? We had total area divided by the total area covered by each box. So for total area of the garden, what did we do? Well, area of the garden was pi r squared, and we made pi equal 3 instead of 3.147 and so on. So we underestimated their area of the garden. That was underestimated. And then we divided by the area covered by each box. So area covered by each box. What did we do there? Well, we had 46. And then we made it 50, so we overestimated. So how do you conclude then? Well, we used the smaller amount on top, smaller, divide by large. What would you get? You will get small. So therefore, it was underestimated. Now for question 19, we're asked to solve this equation. So we need to expand the bracket. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, and that's equal to 18. We're going to add 20 both sides, and that's going to give us 4x equals to negative 20 plus 20. That goes away, becomes 0. 18 plus 20 is going to be 38. So x is equal to 38 over 4. You can simplify your fraction. Let's halve it and let's see what happens. 38 divided by 2 is 19, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2. And for part B, we're told t is greater than negative 3 but less or equal to 2. T is an integer, so an integer is a whole number. It can be 0 and it can be a negative number as long as it is not a decimal or fraction. So write down all the possible values of t. So let's just do a quick number line here. So we've got 3, negative 3. So this is our negative 3. And then we've got 2 on the other side is here. And t is greater than negative 3. So we have to put a white circle there. That means the number cannot be equal to negative 3 because there is no equal part on this inequality symbol. But t is less or equal to 2. That means it can be 2, and all the numbers in between here. So we're going to have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. So the answer for this, all the integers going to be t equal, you can't have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So for question 20, we're told Asmol is paid 1,500 per month. He's going to get a 3% increase in the amount of money he's paid work out how much money Asmo will be paid per month after the increase. So we need to find 3% of 1,500 and add that amount to the current amount that Asmo gets from his employer. All right, so let's just do 1% because we need 3%. 1% is of 1,500 is going to be equal to what? Well, it's going to be equal to 1,500 divided by 100. To get 1%, you need to divide by 100. So that's going to be equal to £15. So that means 3% of 1,500 is going to be equal to 15 times 3, which is going to be equal to £45. So now the new amount that he's going to get paid, so the new amount is going to be equal to 1,500 plus 45, which is going to be equal to £145, that is. So that is that. So guys, thank you for watching. In the next video, I will complete this paper and then go on to paper 2. Bye for now.